Love your yard with a new outdoor space from F&D Landscaping. From a new build to a new project in an existing yard, we listen and give you the yard you want within your budget. Lawns, water features, xeriscaping. We've got the artistic touch and technical know-how to bring the peak of Colorado outdoor living to your home. Reliable, trustworthy. Visit fblandscapes.com to schedule a free consultation today. Well, welcome to your Thursday. I am Matt Meister. This is Peaks to Plains Weather, and I'm in the Peaks to Plains Weather backyard made possible by F&D Landscaping and Hydrix Colorado Tree Farm Nursery. And yes, a little bit of solace on a beautiful start to our day, but another day, we've got some more thunderstorms in the forecast. The severe weather threat, not as significant as what we had yesterday. And we didn't use all that potential yesterday. I think that was some good news because there was, we were worried about some large hail. Had a couple 1-inch reports up over the Palmer Divide, and that was about it. But the high is still off to our south, and so as we move through the day today, it's going to be another round of some thunderstorms. And yesterday, they moved off to the southeast because we're kind of on the northeastern fringes of the big high, and that's where we're going to be today as well. So we'll see a similar movement of storms here as we head through the afternoon into the evening. There's another night of some storms over the plains, and that will be a little bit different today. The storms are going to have a harder time getting out over the plains because we're missing some forcing. And so as we hit the middle of the day here, the monsoon plume and the terrain in the mountains will combine with the heating of the day to develop some storms. And we've still got a little bit of upslope flow at the surface here, so we'll push that up against Pikes Peak, up against the Sangre de Cristos, up against the southern slopes of the Palmer Divide. And the combination of the monsoon and that upslope is kind of where the storms will be most likely. They'll be strongest today. The best chance of heavy rain is, and if we're going to get a severe thunderstorm warning, it'll be in these areas, I think. For a brief little window here, a storm or two might produce some wind gusts up around 60 miles per hour. I think that's a little bit bigger threat than some 1-inch hail today, but we'll keep an eye on all of that during the afternoon. Rachel will be here and she'll take care of things for you. Outside of the Raton Mesa, notice how storms don't do a lot out over the plains. Like I said, we're just kind of missing, we need the terrain a little bit today as there's not like a large scale kind of trigger to support those things. So as we move through the evening, we will see the activity decrease. And you can see the low level moisture is not as significant during the afternoon when we had dew points in the 50s up against the hills. Today we're in the 40s. We're in the 30s for the dew points over the mountains. We're starting this little bit of a drying trend here that we'll notice as we move into the weekend. Like I said, best chance of a severe storm kind of along the eastern slopes, the interstate. Is it great today? No, it's not zero. I wanted to make you aware of it. High temps not too different than yesterday, regardless if you're over the peaks or the plains. You'll be within a degree or two of what we had on Wednesday in most cases, but that changes for tomorrow. Thanks to this drying trend, the numbers go up some. You notice it more over the plains than over the mountains and the mountain valleys, but even there we come up a few degrees. So we'll start to feel that a little bit, I think, here as we head into the start of the weekend. As we move through Friday afternoon, we'll see a couple of storms develop. But they don't have the fuel that they've had for a lot of the week. So there'll be some virga out there, some gusty wind. The likelihood of like real heavy rain producing storms comes down. Probably more likely to catch those over the mountains and maybe over the Palmer Divide. There might be one or two that put down some decent rain, and you see a couple of them there with some reds kind of in the cores. But for a lot of us, it's just going to be weaker activity than we've seen for a lot of this week. To start off the weekend, we add another degree or two over the plains. We're getting areas back to around triple digits. Best chance of storms on Saturday will be along and west of the Continental Divide as the monsoon starts to thicken back up. That will impact our forecast for the last couple days of the month, and we'll talk about that in the extended. There is a partial lunar eclipse tonight between about 10 and 1. Hopefully clouds will be decreasing where you are if you want to try to see that. Of course, look up, get away from the cities. View looks a little bit better than it does with some of the light pollution in our more metro type areas. But here's hoping that you can see that. And here's hoping that you have a great Thursday. Thanks for checking in with Peaks to Plains Weather, our weather together.